It's June 28th, 2021, Monday morning, 6:26 a.m., and pretty quiet overnight session. We are currently in value in range and testing down into this low volume node from Friday to test this upper side of value here. And we have kind of come down and tested this overnight low as well. And now we're seeing if we're going to hold that area and move lower. Lots of volume coming in here at the bottom under these lows, so under the overnight low. So we either are going to move down and hold this area and push down into previous range, or reject back higher, obviously, and come back up to test some of the. I mean, this is a really tight range here in the overnight session. Only about 50 ticks or so. So not a whole lot to talk about. Nothing too exciting. Not much volatility. Not much volume. So nothing too exciting going on during the open. We came down earlier here in the pre-open and put in this large volume. Little bit of move up and then another slam down on largest volume of the overnight session. That's here. And this is the area where I have trouble staying out of these kind of low tick failures. I did like leaning on the volume here, but because I have traditionally had quite a bit of trouble fading these lows and moves, staying out of those is sometimes beneficial for me. But we did have context to support that as well, being that we were above this previous balance and range for a long, expecting that we would hold this area. But I passed, and there wasn't much of a great trigger either. I did like it that there wasn't a real big stop here, 78, 79, 80 down to here to put my stop at 70, 71 or so. So, and then we got this nice push up. And then now just pretty quiet open. This is an area where I would expect buyers to step in again. We're not stepping in here, so we're either going to fall back down into this previous balance, this part of this lower distribution here, and then testing possibly the lower side of value. But we very easily could come down below here, spike down, and push up. So haven't had much luck getting anything on this morning, but I've been kind of long context all morning, and then here we are breaking down below that previous range that was discussed. And now I'm taking a short, and this is a little bit of a precarious spot, but I think that we have some support for to flush some major supply areas on the short side. So it needs to go here, but I am going to give it a try to some 91 and some 85 shorts. Expectation for those to flush, but looks like I may be on the wrong side. Just can't seem to get on the right side of this, and I was long at the lows, and then now I was trying to get short again, and it's not working out. So took another loss there, and these are the lows that this was the concept for a continuation short to take out these areas, because there's definitely liquidity resting under there. And now, so I've been back and forth, 3 losses now today. My last one was long at 0.06, which is now looking like a good trade, and I should have stuck with that initial idea. I think it seems like we're not able to push lower, but we'll see. I'll keep at it. -12 so far now, but nothing one decent trade can't get back. But taking a long try here. We had this one last push down into this low volume node, and this is not the strongest low for sure. And this is definitely another situation where I could potentially get spiked out, but I liked the feel of the trade, and not the best price. I have a 10 or 11 tick stop here below this most recent low, but I just feel like it's not able to go lower here. So we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. Price on the long side has already been here. Liquidity here, sellers here, sellers here, sellers here, above here, looking possibly to come all the way up into 61, but managing this anywhere 20 plus, and I'll be looking to get my risk off right above a push above this high and a flush of this liquidity. And it's going to be hard not to choke this out because I don't want to see price back down here. No way, no how. But it's looking like we're going to come back down to test this area, but I'm going to hold it for now. See what we can do. And the shorts definitely at the lows seem trapped there. For looking for an expectation to move lower, and there's some heavy volume at all of the lows, and I took my risk off here when we came down and put in this volume here at the point of control here. And again, this was a fairly aggressive long, being that this value area is being built out, and certainly does not look like a very strong or unfair price to me. We did put in a lot of volume under here, but then came back down, found buyers here again, and doesn't seem to be unfair price to me here at all. So just having a hard time getting anything good going, but being that we also do have these lows here, I could definitely see if there were higher time frame buyers here that these would be taken out. So I wanted to see that trade go. It was looking like it wasn't very heavy there. So we'll see if we can give it another try here. So I didn't follow what I said I was going to do, and that was a de-risk below my stop. And instead of taking my full risk of the 10 and 11, which was my stop I initially said I would follow, and then de-risking above the break of this high, I didn't follow that, and I de-risked early, and I talked myself into that based on this volume that was put in here. And this just seems to me down here a potential for trying to pick a side and getting chopped up. And now I'm at 3 losses and a break even, nothing big, minus 12 overall. So trying to get that one good trade, but not letting the idea play out here. So I'm gonna try to let the market show me something a little bit more definitive about what it's going to do. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we still come back down and take out take out these lows. This low volume area is what I was trying to play off of, though, being that we came up on this imbalance and came back and pulled back to there, and that was this area here, and that was about where my long was. Not the best price, though. At 15 it would have been much better down here. And now there we go. There's the pop, and now we have a lot of trapped shorts down here. So it's unfortunate, but a good lesson for me here. And now I'm just kind of stuck here feeling like I missed out on the trade, which obviously I did, because I was in here down at 15 with a great position, which I thought was a risky position. But now 45 looks pretty good when I was in at 15, and looking like we're going to continue to move higher. And we'll see if we get up into that 60, 61 area, which was my expectation and my target. And now all of these bar highs, all of this liquidity has been taken out. So not really anything for me to do here at this point. So not much is happening here. We have moved up into above this high volume area, this value area here, and we've just been chopping around here. Now fairly recently we just broke down, came back up, pushed up into this trouble area from below. So now just kind of between areas now, and this has become, this area here is now the new point of control for the day. So really could shorts or longs, long context here, but highest volume of the day is definitely down here in this area. So definitely large buying coming in here. But then on a higher time frame, we have this is also showing possibly that these may be the same buyers here. So this was untested demand, came down here, found buyers here. But we also do have, if shorts are in control, we have this liquidity lying here below. So orders sitting below here. And so I still like the long context to fill in the space back up into the 61 if I can get some kind of setup. But until I get some kind of failure of this now, this point of control here, and then this is also untested here, and then this is coming from supply. So definitely some issues for the long trade. The short trade has been tested here. This is all tested. So down into here. But then we have this previous area where we know that we've found buyers. So it's getting a little later in the day, 11:20 Eastern. So we're not sure what's going to happen here as far as if we're going to have some volume coming in or not. But may not be much else for me to do today. So kind of feeling that frustration creeping in and trying to get on a trade and seeing this breakdown. And took a couple losses again, trying to get short. And now I'm in a short again. Expectation is to break the lows and come down and flush these lows that I was talking about earlier. And looking on the 15 down into this 85. So it'll be looking for a break of that 85 area. Beyond that, I'm not real sure where we would have an expectation of where this would go. All of this has been tested, so high volume area is here around 71. Previous day's point of control here. So anywhere in there, but it'll be a nice, any of that'll be a nice target. So, but it seems like the shorts are definitely back in control here. Unfortunately, had to take a couple of losses to get this right, and not happy with where I'm at. Obviously, it's going to be real hard. I mean, down 33 ticks already. No wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. This last one was 12. Just a full really bad loss, and so just trying to recover something. But not a great day for me. So we haven't quite taken out this low here. We came right down to it, put in some volume, so would expect for us to come up into this 11 area and for this to hold. If that doesn't hold, be a little leery about my entry here at 16, but I'm still going to hold and keep my original risk on and wait for a break of this 73.02 and a flush. There's just a lot of weakness to the left. I think we could definitely see a pretty nice breakdown below this 95, this 90, and even further below. Try to look on this pit chart here, but all of this, we have definitely have some untested supply here. Around 72, that would probably be a good target if I can get anywhere near there without getting taken out on this trade on a pullback. On this pullback here, we had about over 500 contracts by this big volume here. So if this doesn't hold, I really wouldn't want to be up above that anymore. So I have de-risked here and hope that 11-12, this volume holds, and we will flush those lows and get on with it. I was shooting for a break of the lows and just couldn't get down below it, and then we ripped higher here. Took me out, break even, for a 21 tick equity trade to nothing, to 17. So it took me out by 1 tick, and now we're just back up above and above this trouble now. But I fully expect this to be taken out. I'm not expecting this low. It's not a strong low at all. Not an unfair price. So unfortunate, just nothing going right for me today. I'm short once again. And we had this spike out up here on this bar here, real high volume, and I entered kind of blind at the point of control. Just seemed like an obvious shakeout to me. Now may not, being that we're kind of real choppy now and in balance, but this is extremely weak low here. Can also say this is continued to be buyers coming in here, but I feel like this is very high probability trade to take out this low 95, and then we have the other lows here at this 80, and then my target is this about the 75 area of untested demand, and we can see that in this area here. This is down into here, so I'm going to take it off at somewhere around the 75, 76 area if we ever get down there. But anywhere in here, I'll be watching it pretty close. But be a real nice trade. That's about a 40 tick trade or so, if I can even survive. But we got to get going here, and it just doesn't seem like it wants to do anything other than chop around in this area. It's just kind of in balance. So wouldn't be surprised if we come back up here again and test this volume here, and that'll take me out. Just not willing to take any more losses above this area. 23 would be the reasonable de-risk, but that puts me in another 8 tick loss. I'm just not willing to do that at this point with where I'm at negative 33. So hopefully this gets down and tests this low here and gets going. Well, finally got it. Got a plus 32 on that one, ending me at -1 on the day. It's so crazy, man. What a frustrating, crazy, ridiculous day. But I was trying to hold for that 75. So it was really 72 was my number, and good thing that I just locked some profit in, and I ended up taking it off at 80. I don't know, 80. What was it? I was in at 15, so I took it off at 85 or 84, around there, or 83. So 32, and that was just right in here. It just was hoping that it was going to hold this area, and it just couldn't move. I was watching it on the dome, and it just couldn't break through down in that little area. And so that 5 minute, that untested area that I was shooting for here, right in here, that was all untested demand. So that's going to have to do it for me for the day. It's just like poker. Sometimes you get stuck early in the session and you're just hoping to get back to even. And I'm glad that I didn't quit earlier. So with commissions, and you can see, as always, I'm way overtraded. Like 8 trades, I think. So a losing day with commissions, definitely. It's about $40, so negative 50. That would be negative 50 per contract. But again, I'm okay with that. Trading a really low win rate today. Just couldn't get anything going. And that first try at 73.16 had a nice equity position, 21 ticks on that. It would have been nice to lock in something there. But if it had went there, then I would have locked in 10 or whatever, and then I wouldn't have gotten this 32 if I lock in too early. So fine line, but it's all right. It's a decent result for the day. I'm just trying to continue to trade well and trust my edge. And the thing about this as well, something I do want to talk about, is that if I just be following blind rules and ignoring my feel and my gut on things as well, the issue with this trade is that when we came up here and spiked these highs, we spiked this liquidity, and that just seemed like an obvious spike out to me. So entering here at 15 blind, you would say, well, we're trading right back into trouble, and that is true, but I was managing it really tight, being that if this was kind of a false breakout higher, yes, I'm trading back into trouble this here and this area. But again, the context with the weak lows here just didn't make sense that this was going to be the final low for the day. And that's exactly what this was just a false break and a fake out to the breakout down, and then got most of the move. So now here we are back way up above the 73 round number again. So this also could just be a push down for the buyers, because it seems like there is some accumulation going on here, because all of the high volume is at the lows. So are we accumulating for a move up? It's getting kind of late in the day, but that's definitely possible. But I think I'm going to be done for the day.